All right, so I want to talk about some of the differences between this tiny house right here and the standard tiny house that I'm offering. This one is 8.5 feet wide, which is the maximum legal width that you can safely tow anything through the streets of America without needing a commercial driver's license. So anything bigger than 8'6", you're going to need a CDL and possibly an oversized sign. So this is created to be able to be towed by anybody, like a car like that, or just whatever you've got. The standard model is actually going to be 8 feet of livable space, so it shrinks it 3 inches on each side, and that makes it 3-inch eaves up here on the roof. The standard model will have a different shaped roof. It'll be like an A-frame, about that tall, so it'll be like 1 foot here, and I'll show that in a second. A 1-to-4 ratio on the drop of the roof, the slope of the roof. That's enough that snow can melt off, rain can fall off, but it's still really strong. It's easy to stand on if you had to repair up there. It's not so steep that it's dangerous. And I'll show you inside here how it's constructed. This is another one, and all these are triangles in here. So they've got a base to the rafter that goes all the way across and just sits right on the top plate of the wall. Goes all the way down to the floor joist. So it's like the ribs of a whale, and it goes all the way around. We've had a horrendous snow load several years in a row, and there's no cracking, no problem with runoff, no settling of the roof. It's a really strong roof. And I'll show you the inside. The inside of this one is finished. I didn't use drywall, I used cedar planks, but you know, for the version 2 for homeless and displaced, we'll be using drywall up here. Both this tiny house and the standard model have the same sort of electrical hookups. So this is merely an extension cord. It's a marine grade extension cord that just kind of screws onto the side with some waterproof rubber in there, and then you just plug in your extension cord there from your generator or solar panels or shore power. And then on the inside we have this. These two electrical cords go to whatever kind of extension cords you're using. In this case, I've got an extension cord with a bunch of outlets right there, and that's fused. And I've got another one over here on the kitchen, and I'll show more about that in a minute. So the colors on this are, this has been painted gray, and I call that Mars red with black trim. And the standard colors are going to be these kind of out-of-the-box materials that we pick up at a box store. So we've got an almond sheathing plus siding for the bottom and the top, and then all the trim will be white, and that'll be the standard. You'll get one window opposite the door. So there is a window on this model over here, and we won't have that with the standard. That'll be an option that you add on later on. There is this window, and then standard is, if you opt for the toilet, standard is it comes with a port, and this is just a 220 grade electrical cover and a 2-inch pipe that goes through all the walls. So this model is on a trailer, and I think the trailer will also be optional. And for the homeless, displaced, refugee applications, this door is actually going to swing outward, and that gives people a lot more room in there. They can leave the door open for a breezeway if they need to. Let's open this door up. So on this side, we have the kitchenette, which is just a dorm fridge and microwave, and that's counter height. There are dorm fridges that are counter height, and so you can extend the counter out here and then have the microwave up here. This kitchenette I bought on Amazon. I can give you the link to that if you need. And I had to cut a hole for the sink and install the sink with the caulking here. This right here is a battery operated pump. The battery is chargeable by USB. It puts out enough water that you can get a drink, you can wash your hands, you can brush your teeth, you can, you know, it's very utilitarian. The pump will pump 25 gallons. So on average, a human being uses 1 gallon of water per day unless they're taking showers or something. But 1 gallon of water for drinking, and for washing dishes, this will pump 25 gallons. So you have to charge it, every couple of weeks, maybe every month. And the way that it works under here is we've got these 5-gallon reservoirs. So this is food grade. This is a food grade bucket. You've got your water for the week. This puts responsibility on the homeowner to fill this up every week and to empty this every week. And that's the way this goes, so that you don't have to drive the tiny home to an RV park and dump the tanks, and you also don't have to build infrastructure of a septic field and pump water to the tiny house. So there's lots of great room in here. There's plenty of storage up above, and this electrical cord on the other side of this partition runs the fan on the toilet. This is a composting toilet. It's about $1,000. It's a marine grade composting toilet, and I'll tell you everything about it. You need to have it about 5 inches away from the back of the wall when you install it, and that's not only so that this lid can pop up, but also so that this entire bowl can pop up. When you open it up, the person that uses it wants to sit on here, whether they're urinating or defecating. The urine goes into here and comes into this portable bucket thing that has a lid on it, and I'll show you how that works in a second. And then this contraption opens up like this, and that's where they do their deal. And then there's a little handle on the side here. Right here is the handle, and it turns. And then this mulches up the excrement and starts to activate the bacteria in there, and breaks down the excrement. I've been told that there's no smell with this other than what you would normally smell in a bathroom using it. When you first get it, it has to be filled halfway with peat moss and then a little bit of water added to it. The instructions come with the toilet so that you know how to do that. The toilet operates on air that goes through it, and it needs this 12-volt fan, which comes with the purchase. The DC adapter needs to be purchased separately. It's like $10 or something. And you do get this hose that comes with the toilet. You need to attach it onto here and then port it out the side. And so I've just used 220 volt electrical panel covers, and that seems to fit just perfectly. This tube goes inside a 2-inch piece of PVC, and that goes through the interior wall and the exterior wall, and then outdoors. So every week, this needs to be emptied, typically, for one person using this. And the way that it's emptied is you just flip up these little handles on the side. Here's one here and one here. And then this whole contraption opens up. And yes, you would see the composted material in there. Some people wonder, do you put a bag in there? No, do not put a bag in there at all. But this is the urinal tote, and you can just lift this up. But there, I just lifted it up. And here are the thumb screws right here. So the way that this has to empty is you need to disconnect the power. You need to disconnect this tube, which just comes off very easily. And then you need to undo these 2 thumb screws, 1 and 2. This whole toilet then can be transported. It's got little handles on it for carrying it, and it can be taken outside, and then a 13-gallon kitchen bag fits right over the top of that, and you just dump it upside down, secure the kitchen bag, and replace the toilet with the thumb screws, the pipe, the tube, and the 12-volt system. So all in all, it probably takes about a half an hour or less to empty the toilet. Has to be done once a month, and the 13-gallon bag of composted material can be safely discarded into a dumpster because most municipalities view it as the same way that they'll view baby diapers, meaning that as long as it's secure and not exposed human feces, then it's okay to dump it. This little area for the toilet can be outfitted with a curtain, post-market a curtain or a door. I left a little bit of a space right here for a shower. This would have to be a fold-down shower where you fold it down, step in it, and then there's a curtain that goes around. And the shower would operate real similar to the sink. So there would be some sort of pump, and you turn it on, and it's going to be a trickle. It's not going to be a high-powered shower, obviously, but it can come with a 12-volt pump that can give a little bit more pressure, and then a instant water heater that would hook up to a bottle of propane, and then it would have a recirculating. The pump would recirculate. So you pour a gallon of water in there, it could take a shower forever. So it goes through a water filtration system and gets repumped up to the top. On the other side, we've got a window right here for an air conditioner. This is a 2-foot window. Down here is a bench table that can convert into a bunk, or it can remain like this. I slept up here for 10 days, 10 nights, and it was wonderful. I got great sleep. The only difference between this and the standard model is that there is an 8-foot ceiling here. So this 8-foot ceiling is approximately at the top of this trim right here. And it goes, straight across where the trim goes. So you still have a little bit of storage over here. That creates an attic. And that attic is 1 foot tall at the peak. That's the peak. So it's 1 foot tall. And it has 6 inches of insulation in there and another 6 inches that a fan could be installed if needed to be able to whisk hot air out of the attic. So one more thing that is part of my dream here is to have one of those pods in a tiny home have a complete vertical garden, floor to ceiling and wall to wall, with just a little bit of space to walk around in, that you can grow all sorts of vegetables. So here I'm growing beans.